It is literally February and one more week and it's going to be March. How crazy. How insane is the year going so quick? Like in my Financial Literacy Academy, my FLA, which is my coaching group for financial literacy, we started a Stockville together and we have already saved 42,000 Rand and it's like, what is it, 4, 5, 6, it's 7 weeks in the year. And I think that's just talks to the importance of being intentional and surrounding yourself with people who are focused as well. I'm currently submitting people's retirement. Hello. I'm currently submitting people's retirement applications. I had, how many meetings did I have today? I had 4. 4 back to back, and yesterday as well I had 4. I don't have any meetings tomorrow, so I'm very happy. But I do have like mentorship meetings, if that even counts. I mean it does, because it does take time out of me. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be meeting with a sales coach, and also I'll be recording a property investment episode for my Financial Literacy Academy, for my FLA. So I have a group of women that I mentor in financial literacy, and there's like 108 of them now in the group, and I want to like really talk about things that are not really spoken about. I always say, like, we are not taught, personal finance. We're not taught financial literacy. So it's important for us to teach ourselves. And literally, this book here, I'm reading it right now, and it mentioned the same thing. I actually recorded a video for TikTok, so I'm going to read it here. It says, your financial blueprint consists of a combination of your thoughts, feelings, and actions in the arena of money. So how is your money blueprint formed? The answer is, your financial blueprint consists primarily, I don't know how to say that word, of the information or programming you received in the past, and especially as a young child. So I'm just gonna stop there for now. I know a lot of you have computers, so you know what it means to program something, to like code it. I need to tie this hair up, it's stressing me. You program your computer to operate this way. If I have a iOS, a Apple, it is going to operate in a way that iOS has programmed it. So it's the same thing with your mindset. You are programmed in a specific way, and you might not have control over that because you are still very young. The household, the culture, the church, all of that you went to programmed you in a specific way to think about money. So imagine a computer being programmed, okay? So who were the primary sources of this programming or conditioning? For most people, the list includes parents, siblings, friends, authority figures, teachers, religious leaders, media, and your culture, to name a few. And then it says, let's take culture. Isn't it true that certain cultures have one way of thinking and dealing with money, while other cultures have a different approach? Do you think a child comes out the womb with his or her attitude towards money, or do you believe the child is taught on how to deal with money? So basically, here it's telling us, it's reminding us that, you know what, you might have a different way of thinking and handling money, but you can still unlearn and reprogram your mind according to what you want. And this is why I always encourage you to follow people who are, because now social media has the biggest influence. Yeah, family, friends, yeah, but more social media now. So follow people who are doing what you want. Don't follow people who are living the life you don't want. If you don't want to be around gossip and all of that, then don't follow people who are doing that. If you are trying to be wealthy and successful, then follow people who are doing that. Then you're going to start reprogramming your mind into only taking in information from this certain type of people and to only operate this certain way. And like, for example, when the Bible says God has given us the power to create the world. What is power? What is actually power? It's energy, right? Sorry, I just need to tap my hair. So, who are your energy drainers? Gosh, stay away from them. If there's a content creator, for example, that you follow that you feel like makes you feel insecure about your life or whatever, don't follow them. Follow the one that make you feel inspired to keep going, inspired to start from scratch. Like in my coaching program, my FLA, which is linked on my bio, by the way, I'm not only teaching them personal finance. Obviously, that is very important because that is, especially for women, that is how you have a strong foundation for your financial freedom future. But I also teach them how to make money online because that's what I do. I've been self-employed for over a year now, and it's been amazing. It's been the best thing ever, and it all started from literally learning about digital products and how to make money online. So now I teach them that. And a lot of them are struggling with the concept of how simple it is to make money online, because we are programmed again to believe that making money online, making money is hard work. So that's what we are programmed to believe, that to make money, it requires a lot of hard work. You must be so exhausted after a full day of work. You must feel drained, and that's going to show that you deserve, this income. But then when I show them my way of doing things and money, I get money, I probably make more money than, I'm just going to say I see a lot of budgets because I do a lot of coaching, one-on-one coaching, and from like really good professionals. And I studied as well. I've got a qualification. I did everything, the book, by the book, go to school, finish matric, go to university, get a job. My first job was actually in New Zealand, it was overseas. So I did everything properly. I got married, have a child, work in corporate, climb the ladder. I did that, and I did it for 9 years, and I still was struggling financially. And that's when I actually had to ask myself, why am I still broke? If I've done everything, exactly everything as we were told to do, as we were programmed to do, get a qualification, get a job, get married, get da-da-da-da-da. I did everything exactly by the book, but I'm still struggling. I knew that I needed to learn something else. So obviously I started to enroll in masterclasses and courses and things like that. And I started to learn skills, and I started to create, and I felt so fulfilled. And because I am a spiritual person, I read the Bible like it's, I don't know, like it's my daily manual. I read it a lot. And I noticed at that moment when I realized how much I enjoy creating, even though what I'm creating doesn't look good, but I'm enjoying so much, like I would zone out. I wouldn't even eat. I would just like sit there and create on Canva or in Adobe or Photoshop or whatever. And I realized, oh my gosh, it's because we're made to create. We are made in the image of the Creator to create. So this is what fulfills us. And now the problem is when you put us in this box, like in a job, for example, which is nothing wrong with the job, it pays the bills, but you shouldn't lose your creative side. You shouldn't lose your identity, basically. And when we are put in this box, it takes away from that. So even though you're earning an income, even though you're like, taking care of your bills because of this job, you still feel empty. You still feel like something's missing, man. And when you ask someone, like, they don't even know what people don't even know what they're good at anymore, because they just know what they need to do at work. That's their identity. Which is sad, because God has created you to create something out of that seed inside of you and share it with the world. And because it's going to help me, I'm going to pay for it. And that's how a business starts. And it shouldn't feel like hard work, because it should be something that naturally flow through you. Like it's your gift. It's God's grace. A lot of people are struggling to find their gift because of the programming that we spoke about from this book. So start programming yourself with different ways of doing things, different way of thinking. Wait, what does that mean? What does that target thing mean? It's my first time live, guys. I'm sorry. On TikTok. I mean, I've been live, but I've never really paid much attention to it. Okay, so then the book carries on and says, that's right. Every child is taught how to think about and act in relation to money. So everything you know about money, you were taught. You were not born already knowing. You're not born already knowing how to use a phone, how to drive, you get taught these kind of things. So if you feel like I grew up in a culture or in a home that was glamorizing debt or overspending or whatever it is that is not healthy for your finances right now, then you can start learning a different program. You can install a different software in your brain so that once you change here, you start operating differently. It's that be, do, have that is mentioned in the Bible. So be fruitful. So you need to become that person before you have. Because when you become that person, you'll have the stuff. So for example, if you see someone who is rich and successful and whatever, and you want what they have, you have to become a person who would do what they do to have what they have. Does that make sense? Because when you want to just have and you have not become, even if God will give you the wealth, give you the money, you won't be able to handle it. You won't know what to do with it. You're going to misuse it. You're going to overspend. You're going to still have the same habits that you have that are programmed in you. So you can change that through changing your identity, knowing that who is the source of your identity. Like when you plant a seed under the ground, there is time when the seed is alone. There is time when the seed is, in the dark, in the mud. No one can see it there. People are stomping on top of it. It's tiny. But it grows to a tree that is so huge that produces so much fruit. That tree that you now see and you want the fruit was once a seed. And that's literally how you're going to have the fruit. That's how you're going to have what you want, is by changing your identity. So the seeds are your words, things you say. You're planting seeds. You're changing that identity. And a lot of us obviously identify ourselves with a job. When I have my one-on-ones with my clients, I ask them, tell me about yourself and stuff. And the first thing they say is they identify themselves with the job. But they obviously don't say it like that. They'll say Okay, I'm an auditor. See, they've already like identified themselves with the job. So if you had to take that away, if you had to take that job title away, they would be lost. I'm not saying don't be proud of your job. I'm not saying don't work in your fullest, 100% to be the best in your job. But have an identity that cannot be taken away. Yeah. So why do people do that? They always identify themselves with titles. It's annoying. They actually just don't know like how else to identify themselves. When you have studied for a degree for so long, or in honors, you feel that validation from it. And that's the problem with the programming that I'm literally reading about, is that people don't study themselves anymore. People study for a qualification. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I also have a qualification, but now you kind of leave yourself somewhere. So now it becomes your identity, but the problem is that can be taken away. So you focus so many years on this thing that when you do achieve it, that becomes your identity. And the only issue is that it can get taken away. It's the same as married people. Yeah, so again, especially for women, when we were young, we are programmed to say, you have to get married, you have to find a husband, you have to be a good wife, you have to buy a Barbie doll and be a mom, you have to buy a little baby doll and feed it and change it nappies, and then guys are taught to buy cars and, just it's so different. So when they achieve marriage, it's literally what they've been trying to fulfill for years because of the programming. It's the programming. So they actually don't know that they can actually find themselves in God, because you are a temple of God, and you need to find yourself in God and identify yourself with who God says you are. They actually don't know that. And again, people are not taught that. Unfortunately, churches don't teach us how to apply the Bible, how to practice the Bible. They just repeat the Bible over and over as if there is some God is sitting there watching like a teacher and marking a register that you listened at church today and you read the Bible, but you're not practicing, you're not applying anything, so what are you doing? The Bible is meant to change you, but now the problem is what's changing us is our qualifications, our marriages, our friends, people even change at work, and you're like, I know this person, and then they become like someone new because of the job. It's now their identity, and they have to like embody this thing. It's a spirit. I'm just going to say it's a spirit. Men are taught differently. Women want marriage to work more than men. Yes, but now the problem is now, because of how life is today, men still want the traditional wife, but they are no longer the traditional husbands. So maybe back then, gosh, I need water, my mouth is dry. Maybe back then, when women were taught that, it's because generally women were not going to be hired anywhere to work, So their purpose was to get a husband. Like I was watching an episode on Bridgerton. I'm not someone who watches shows and stuff, but I work with my husband, so funny. But yeah, we have like put in the calendar an hour to just take a break and do nothing and close the laptops and do nothing. And in that hour, we've been watching an episode of Bridgerton because it's an hour long. And women literally cannot work. Like, they're not going to be hired anywhere. They have to be prim and proper and perfect wives and beautiful and clear skin so that they can get married at the age of 18 to take care of their families and have children. So back then, that's why we were taught, our generation, I guess, was taught like that. It's going to be different. I have a daughter. I'm not going to teach her that. you know. We were taught like that because that's what they knew, that women don't get those kind of jobs. And also you have to be a really good wife so that you can get a husband who can take care of you. But now things are not like that. Now we are working harder. Now we are providers. And now the problem is we are starting to become so much alpha females because we are outworking the men, and also we want to be good wives, and it's hard to do both. And then some men are feeling insecure because now the wives are making more money, and they would break the heart of the one that they love just to prove that they're still a man, to go to someone else who would treat them like a provider or whatever. So like we have to keep up with the times and change the programming. And that's what I mean, it's a programming that's the problem, that we have to keep changing. Like I'm not programming Skylar, to my daughter, to have a lot of dolls and be a mom. You know, she's 7. I'm programming her to read a lot. I think a woman that is a great reader will be a very good person to articulate herself well. But also I make her do like things to solve problems. So she obviously goes to school. She's a swimmer. She's in the team at school. And she's just in grade 2 and she's in the school team to swim. So I'm programming her to know that she is a powerful person on her own, but also watching mom and dad, she can see that we complement each other. It's not like mom is just sitting here and waiting for dad to be happy. And that's the issue. And what's nice right now is, my gosh, my throat is so dry. I don't have water. I've got a coffee. What is nice right now is there's so many ways to make money. So it's not just through a job. So even if your daughter wants to be a good wife and that's what she wants, she still though can learn how to make money online and, you know, be a wife and whatever. Because for us, it was a bit difficult, having to juggle work, a mom, a wife, a this, a that, like. But I think for, you know, the next generation that is coming up, they can do that and not feel like they're overworked. And that's what I have done, I guess. I realized that it's not working for me. I want to be a present mother to my daughter. I also want to be a present wife to my husband. But now I also want to be really good at my job. I'm a high achiever naturally. That's just the way I am. But it wasn't working anymore. And I had to go back to the manual, programming, go back to the manual, which is the word of God for me, and actually find myself. Because now I'm trying to pour in so many cups, but I am running empty. I'm trying to be a really good wife to my husband. He's such a great husband. I'm trying to be a really good mom to Skylar. You know, she's little. This is the time for me to like really be there before she, you know, is quite independent. I'm also trying to be a really good employee, you know, where I was working. But I'm not trying to be Noma. Noma is lost. Noma is lost in all of this. And yeah, it really did affect me. I would say I burnt out. I burnt out and I literally drove in my full-time job, 2024, and I resigned with immediate effect. And I drove home and I slept. And then I woke up. I knew what to choose. I had to choose myself. And part of myself is my family, and my family right now is my daughter and my husband. So I needed to let go of my job and refine myself before I lose it all, because I was going crazy. Yeah, so I woke up, I took a nap, woke up, sent a message to my husband who was at work. I was like, hey, I've resigned. And then I just went full on 100% into Nomazdiary, which is my brand. I love my brand so much. Not to say it is easy or anything, but it fills my cup. It fills my cup, And I fasted for 52 days, I think, 31 days plus 21 days here. And I just prayed for God to just make a way for me. And it's been over a year. I love what I do. I'm making way more money than I was making in my full-time job. I'm present as a mom. I just finished doing homework with her. I am present as a wife, just enough. I am present for myself. I wake up in the morning, slow mornings. I don't wake up and rush. Oh my gosh, I used to rush. Wake up, rush. Get everybody ready. Da-da-da. Go to work. I'm there. I'm rushing. Come back. Go in the traffic. Go fetch my daughter. It was manic. And run my business. Now, I feel at peace. The peace I have is priceless. Like, I don't know what job would offer me a salary that I would take. I don't know, because I don't think you can put a price on the peace that I feel right now. And I'm not saying I don't have my tough moments, but I have programmed myself that, no, I run my business. I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I work from home. I'm a financial advisor. Kids looking at me through the window. I'm a financial advisor. I have 82 clients. I help them build their wealth. I help my clients, protect their families. I'm also a personal finance coach. I have a group of over 108 ladies in my membership. It's 210 rand a month that they pay. And I have two lives a month. And we do Bible studies, we do financial planning, and I teach them how to make money online using digital products. I have my budget planners, I have my binders, cash stuffing stuff and stock that makes me money. I have a YouTube channel that is monetized and making me money. I am doing what I love. I am not a stay-at-home mom. My daughter goes to school. She actually goes to school very early at 6 in the morning because she has swimming. And then at 7, she's going to class, and then she goes to what is it called, homework group or whatever it's called, at 1 o'clock, and then I pick her up at 3 o'clock, and I sit with her. She does homework with me, and then that's my time with her, like from 3 to around 4. That's my time with Scarlett during the week, and then after that she's done. And then I finish off whatever I'm doing here. Right now, I am submitting 2 clients for their retirement annuities. I'm submitting 2 clients right now. And then after that, I'm going to record a video for the memberships. I actually have a checklist of things I need to finish recording. So it's something called phase 1 that I have created for my membership. Whoever joins now, because sometimes you join and you get lost in a membership, so I've created phase 1, and basically the first thing is about mindset, on how to replace your current salary in your job. So I teach you basically how to reprogram your mind, that you can receive an income. It doesn't have to be from a job. A lot of people associate income or salary with a job, but actually salary is just money coming in your account. So I help you change that, on how you can make your own income, like what I've done. And if I can do it, oh my gosh, so can you. I'm an only child. I do not have a big network. I started from zero. When I finished uni, I got my first job overseas. I was overseas for 6 years, and I came back and it was COVID. I came back 2020 to get married, and it was COVID. So we got stuck here. And then I got my first job in November 2020, and I started my brand end of 2020, so beginning of 2021. And then 4 years later, I quit my full-time job, and I'm doing this full-time. So if I can do it, so can you, because I don't have a network. I don't have like a lot of friends. I don't have siblings. I don't have like people who will be like sharing my stuff or promoting my stuff or supporting. It's literally just a system that you put in place. I joined a lot of mentorship programs. That's why I started one for me, for my people who love what I do, which is, I made it very affordable. So I joined mentorship programs, and they just told me what I need to do. And I did that consistently, and my business grew. And now you guys are here. Hello, good to see you live. Yeah, like very spontaneous, I guess. I didn't really plan it. I just finished doing Skylar's homework. My throat is actually quite hectic. I don't want to scream. I was going to ask my husband to bring me water. Yeah, so I didn't really plan it. I just joined. So yeah, I'm now finishing off this recording of phase 1 of learning how to make money online. So lesson 1 is mindset. And this is all with the foundation of God. So if you want to join my membership, just know that everything is done through biblical wisdom. Yeah. And then clarity quiz. So there's a quiz that you can do to then find clarity on what offer you can produce, like what product would work well for whatever it is you have overcome and all of that. And then the power of one, how to focus on one thing for 1 year. That's important. That's important. That has made a lot of people successful, is focusing on one thing. And on the opposite side, on the contrary, it's made a lot of people as well not successful by focusing on a lot of things. So if you are launching a business, for example, and you're trying to sell 3 products, 4 products, 5 products, you're probably going to not make a sale. Sorry. And then I teach you the 4-step system to making sales using Instagram, how to validate your product, how to optimize your Instagram page. I really recommend Instagram. It's like, imagine a corporate social media, but also it has automations. So you can automate things on Instagram where, like for example, right now I'm live and I've been seeing some comments come in here on my phone from Instagram of people asking me, hey Noma, where can I get your budget spreadsheet or your date spreadsheet? So because I've automated my Instagram, that if there's a word spreadsheet or budget or debt, they will get an automatic DM saying, hey, here's the link to the spreadsheet, or here's the link to the debt-free coaching or whatever. So that's why I like Instagram. But then I do also repurpose content to TikTok because there's also potential clients or customers on TikTok. But if you DM me or you comment on my stuff, I can't respond to you immediately because they don't have automations, which means I'm only going to get to you late, and maybe I'm not going to get to you at all because of the overwhelming amount of maybe, messages and stuff. Like, I looked at my messages today on TikTok for the first time ever. There's over 900. I'm not going to get to that. Like, my emails are scaring me. My WhatsApps, let me see. Okay, my WhatsApps are not bad today, actually. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 WhatsApps, so that's doable. So as soon as I'm done with the live, I'll respond to my WhatsApps. So yeah, I recommend Instagram when you're starting a business because of the automations, but you have to also do that properly through having a video that is structured well. So I teach you that as well in the FLA, crafting your offer, so how to put an offer together. And I focus a lot on digital products. As you start, you don't want to be ordering stock and, overwhelming yourself with all of those kind of things. I started with the digital product. I started with saving challenges, cash envelopes. And when I saw that I was just like making sales, I started to then offer more things. And then I started to release my budget planners, and that's my budget planner and my binders. This is my binder. This is my 20K 2026 binder. My shop is closed for now though, guys. And I'm almost done with this challenge. And it's only been 6 weeks of 2026. I'm left with that 500 Rand. And then I will be done. And yeah, that's the money in there. Let's see. That's the money. Yeah, 3,400 Rand. Just by putting away change. not really change. It's money I didn't use. Yeah. For my change, I'll show you where I've put away some of my change. I've put it in my no spending challenge. So I put money away every Sunday for different categories. Okay, this is the method I use. Let me show you guys my method, because I feel like sometimes it gets people confused. I have this binder. This binder is like my organizer. And then in this binder, I have a tracker, a weekly money tracker. So if you have a look here, it says weekly money tracker. And then it's got week 1, week 2, week 3, whatever. And then it's got titles over here. So on the titles, I write the titles that I want to use cash on. So it's not every single bill that I use cash on. So title number 1 is groceries, and then transport, so petrol. And then my daughter gets like an allowance because that's school. They always have like cake sales and things I didn't even plan for. And then I have a small allowance. My husband has a small allowance. And then there's kindness, just in case. Toiletries, hair and nails. And then there's buffer, so for any extra things that I didn't plan for. And then rainy day. So these are my titles, sorry. And then these are my envelopes. I put the money in here. Okay, you get what I mean. And then on a Saturday, I usually record the video on YouTube as well. So you can go and follow me on YouTube if you don't, to get more inspiration on budgeting and managing your money well. If you feel like 2026 is the year for you to like be financially savvy, then follow people who are on the same journey. You know, I'm paying off debt, really paying off debt, like aggressively paying off debt, and I'm saving money by doing no spend. I'm not spending on unnecessary things. Okay, anyways. So then every end of the week, I will then write in red how much is remaining out of these. And whatever is remaining, I'll then take it and I'll put it in my savings challenges. So as you can see, for example, over here, it says out of buffer, 100 Rand was remaining. So I'll then take that 100 Rand and I can put it in this saving challenge. Skylar has her saving challenge. So my daughter, she's got her little one here, her kitties challenge. And yeah, she saves her little monies. She just needs to color in her stuff, because she keeps taking, when it's like tuck shop day or whatever, she takes money. I'm like, hey, why are you taking that money? But anyways, and then I've got the no spend challenge that we're doing as a collective in my coaching program, the FLA. So together we are doing a no spend quarter. I'm technically doing a no spend year, but together as a collective we're doing a no spend quarter. I've opened a stock balance stuff for them as well, so that they can save money. But we are using the tracker in the budget planner, and it's this one here. This tracker is the 100-day challenge. It starts at 1 Rand all the way up to 100 Rand. 1 Rand, 2 Rand, 3 Rand, 4 Rand, 5 Rand, 6 Rand, 7 Rand, 8 Rand, 9 Rand, 10 Rand, 11 Rand, 12 Rand, etc. all the way up to 100. So you do it for 100 days. Sometimes I do 3 envelopes in one day, you know, because you're not always going to have money. So you can just schedule it properly. So for a quarter, which usually has 30 days in a month, it will be around 100 days or a little bit less. And when you've completed, you'll save 5,050. So I am doing this for an iPad. I want an iPad. But because we are also paying off debt, I am not going to like take a big chunk of money and put in an iPad. So I'm taking little bits of money and putting them in here. And yeah, this is my no spend money. Some coins over there. And I can't wait to finish it because I'm going to use that. And there's a brand who has reached out to me to work with them, so I'm going to use some of that payout as well to get me an iPad, so that my coaching sessions are more interactive with me drawing on the whiteboard. I have a whiteboard right here, but I don't like turning my back to like teach you stuff. So with the iPad I could just share the screen, because I have a MacBook, I have a iPhone, so like the whole ecosystem will work very well for me to like share the screen, do my teaching while I'm looking at you as well. So that is my goal. That is my plan. And how I'm doing that is on a tight budget, but I'm making it work. I believe that you can live a life of luxury in a budget. You don't have to use a credit card. You don't have to kill yourself for that. You don't have to deprive yourself. You just have to plan for it. So I meet clients all the time, and they want to go on vacations. They want to, really live a life, a soft life. And that's the boot camp, by the way, in the FLA, my coaching group. The boot camp I started is called Your Soft Rich Life, because we are literally, last month, we focused on auditing your finances, how to audit your money every single month. And this coming month, so March 6th, the live is going to be on debt. So attacking debts, getting rid of that, what's leaking your money, the bucket that is literally got a hole at the bottom. So every time you put money in there, there's money leaking. There is money leaking. So obviously I know that I'm known for personal finance, and it's good because I'm passionate about it. I love it. I literally see my clients like for financial planning, so investment planning, building wealth, retirement planning, tax-free investments and stuff like that. I see them complimentary, so the first 2 sessions are free. I love it. I love what I do. But I also want to document my journey of getting healthy and losing weight. But then I don't know what to do. I don't know if you guys want to see that. So I don't know if I should just create a whole separate glow up diaries, because I don't know if it's going to confuse everyone. Or should I open like an exclusive membership and we're all in the same journey? Basically, I'm really trying to level myself up this year, financially, mentally, physically, spiritually. My health is number one. So I really want to also document that, just so anyone who's in the same journey can feel like, oh, I'm not alone. I feel like I've been just talking. Are you guys still enjoying this, or is it boring? I never know the line. That's right, every child is taught how to think about this. So I'm actually reading this book, and it's obviously still talking about programming, programming your mind, and it's saying every child is taught how to think and how to act in relation to money. And just made me realize all the movies, the rich people are the evil people, and then the broke people, I don't know if I'm wording it right, are the good people. And that's another programming. And it's not to say there are rich people that are not evil. It's not to say there are broke people that are not good. It's just to say that's a programming though. There are rich people who are good people. There are broke people who are evil people. It's not about how much you have in your account. It's about what type of person you are, what type of heart do you have. And it's literally the same thing when David was getting anointed, when, was it Samuel was sent by God to go to look for a man called Jesse, which is David's father, and said, hey Jesse, I was sent by God here, and he told me to come with this oil to anoint one of your sons. Jesse brought out all the really good looking sons, not even good looking, because David apparently was also good looking, but like brought out the like, the ones with the muscles, and they looked like a king. You would say, ooh, he's a king. And tried to pour the oil on the boys, and nothing happened. And then Samuel was like, I can't leave because God was so adamant that I must come here. Do you have another son? And Jesse was like, I've got here one who's a shepherd. He's there with the sheep. Like, he's just nothing. Like, don't worry about him. And Jesse was like, okay, call him. Samuel said to Jesse, call him and let's see what's going to happen with him. And literally when David comes, the oil goes over David, and he's the chosen one by God. And they overlooked him. They will overlook you because you don't look the part. And then they will pick the one that looks the part. But then God then responded to Samuel and said, what now? Drag the piece into place. I didn't know TikTok does that. It threw me off. What was I saying? But yeah, I think I was talking about David. That's my favorite book, guys. The Bible is my favorite book. So I will reference a lot of it in my lives. So hope you guys are okay with that, because unfortunately that will not change. So yeah, they overlooked David. They didn't even think to call him when they said, hey, all the sons of Jesse to come through. They didn't even think to call him. And then God responded to Samuel and said, it's not about the appearance. It's about the heart. We are so quick to respect and treat someone with honor just because they look good. But they might be the evil one. And God is teaching us something over here. It's not about what you see with your eye of flesh, with this eye. This eye will deceive you. It's about what you see spiritually, internally, the spiritual eye. You have to be in tune with God to know how to see using the spiritual eye. Otherwise, people will fool you. You're going to be deceived. You're going to say you're not lucky. You're going to say God doesn't love you. But it's because you are more fascinated or in love with what you see physically. But when someone's breath is taken out of them, what happens to the body? It dies, right? That's when you say someone is passed away, it's gone. They're gone. They're not gone. The spirit just left the body. And the body cannot survive without the spirit. So stop relying on the body. Because the body is just a temporary vessel that God is using for a specific purpose on earth. A lot of people are even treated unfairly because they don't appear in your way that you fancy, that you like. And that is why I did that video as well today, that I want you to stop praying and asking for money. Stop begging God for what He's already given you. You know, when you read Genesis chapter 2, yes, when man was made in God's image. What is that? Oh, that's so nice. That is very nice. I can't take the credit. No, I can't take the credit. It's God's grace. Yeah, when God created man, so God created everything, right? Creation, creepy crawlies, all of that, creatures and stuff. And it's funny how God created everything. He was like, let the water bring forth, the animals. That's how we created like the world. But when he created us, he said, let's create in our image. And when he created man, he said everything else was good. When he created, the sun and all of that, he said that's good. And then he created the animals. He said that's good. And then he created the fish and the birds. He said that's good. The only time God said it's not good, it's when he created man to be alone. He said that's not good. That's the first time God said it's not good. So then, obviously, he put man to sleep, and then he used man's rib to then create woman to need each other, basically. We need each other. I need you, you need me. I don't have what you have. You don't have what I have. So we need each other. And the problem comes when people think they have it all, they know it all, just because they have money. I remember saying this during COVID, saying, like Jeff Bezos is the richest man that was in 2020. Now it's obviously Elon Musk. But I remember saying in 2020 to my mom, Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. But if he had to get COVID right now, he cannot buy my health. It's not just about money. And I want you to stop praying for money, because when God created man, he put them in the garden. In that garden there was gold. And if you don't believe me, go read the Bible. God put man in a garden. In the garden there was gold. Wealth belongs to you. Wealth was created by God. God has given you the power to then create the wealth that's already here. So when you are praying for money and begging God for money, it's like, if you are a parent, you're probably going to get this. And this is not to offend anyone who's not a parent. I'm just trying to make an example. It's like, imagine if you put food over here for your child, and your child keeps coming to you and begging for food. Like, it's right there. Just get up and take it. So praying for money, begging God for money, it's going to sound bad, but it's like a weak prayer, because you're asking for what you already have. What I want you to do is pray for God to open your eyes and give you the wisdom, so that your eyes, your spiritual eye, will see the opportunities right in front of you, so that you can create the wealth. And the wisdom will help you know how to manage the wealth properly. Some of you are just praying for wealth. You get the wealth, and then you lose it all because of the wisdom, the knowledge and the understanding you do not have. So pray for wisdom, like how Solomon, the richest man in the Bible, did. He asked for wisdom. When God came at night while he was sleeping, can you imagine you are asleep and God comes to you and say, hey, what do you want? What do you want from me? Like, tell me anything and I'll do it for you now. You'd probably be like, I want a house, I want da. Solomon said, I want wisdom. So it's really teaching us. Like, again, it's things that we are not taught how to apply the Bible, how to unpack it properly. God is teaching us there that he was pleased by what Solomon asked for. And because Solomon asked for wisdom, God said, I'll also give you more than that. That's in the book of Kings, by the way. Kings chapter 1. First Kings chapter 5. I could be wrong, but it's in the book of Kings. So when you want, I made this example earlier. When you want a cake, am I going to sit here and pray for a cake? I want a cake, I want a cake, I want a cake. Or am I going to use the power that God has given me, the strength that God has given me, the eyes that God has given me, the hands that God has given me, to get up this chair, go open the fridge and see what's in there? Oh, I have eggs, I have vanilla essence, I have some, milk. What else do you need for a cake? I will open the pantry and be like, oh, I have some flour, I have some cocoa powder, let's make it a chocolate cake. I have sugar, baking soda, baking powder. Do you see where I'm going with this? You are using now your power to create the cake, to create the wealth. And because now you know your opportunities that are in front of you, your resources, everything that is in front of you, the people even. Maybe it's me, maybe it's my mentorship is what's going to create that wealth for you. Maybe it's my one-on-one financial planning sessions. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe it's just you reading more books. I don't know. But you use that power to then create the wealth that you want. Because the wealth has been given to you. It was put in the land. And you know what happened in that land? God said, here we go. Here are all the trees. Here are all the beautiful trees for you to enjoy the fruits. But just this one. Do not eat from this one. You can eat from all the other ones. There's the gold. Everything is yours here. Just this one though. Don't eat from that one. And then what happened? The enemy came. Did the enemy shove the fruit in Eve's mouth? Did the enemy come and literally force Eve to eat the fruit? No. The enemy came and made Eve change her mindset, her lens, her fleshy eyes, and looked at that tree, that one tree, as if she is in lack. She no longer could see everything else that God has given her. She now looked at that one she could not have. That's the first sin that was created. The enemy will not force you. They cannot force you. Only you can act. They will say words in your mouth, in your eye, in your head. Oh no, I cannot record this video. No, I'm not like, I don't know who. I have a bad speech. I have a lisp. That's what I used to say. I cannot record this content. I have a lisp. I'm not pretty enough. Oh gosh, I would never ever succeed there. No, I'm not even going to apply for that job. They're not going to take me. No. I'm not even going to do my license test because I'm just going to fail. Yeah. I'm not even going to date this guy. He will not marry me. I don't want marriage. I don't want kids. I don't want the enemy's flooding you with all of this thing, and you are operating in lack. I'm just going to operate in lack. No one knows. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know if you will succeed tomorrow. You don't know if you will not succeed tomorrow. But you're already operating like you're not going to succeed. How about you start operating like your prayers are answered? How about that? How about you actually move like you're already that successful business owner that you want to be? How about you show up in your job like you're already that manager that you're trying to be promoted to? How about you dedicate an hour a day into studying that exam? I don't know what. How about you dedicate every single day to wake up an hour earlier than normal, challenge yourself to put in that workout, to read that Bible, and to have a strong foundation in God, and think of yourself as God says you are. God said to Gideon, hey, mighty warrior. And Gideon was like, what, me? No. How about you actually operate like a mighty warrior? How about you do like David? When David was overlooked, he was the one who was made king. And even when Goliath was there, the biggest giant, everyone was scared of him. He didn't care that he was a little shepherd. He didn't care that he was a boy and everyone was laughing at him. He knew that I have God behind me, so I am going to go to this unclean, uncircumcised Philistine and kill him. How about that? Because if you're saying you're not going to succeed in this thing, you've made it up. No one told you. You made it up. So how about you make up lies and say, you know what? I am going to succeed in this thing because God said he has plans for me to prosper. How about that? Let's try and be positive and literally speak about our lives how we want them. Like, stop saying things about your life that you don't want. Stop saying things about your life that are not said by God. Speak to yourself how God speaks about us. Everyone can say whatever they want about you. It's okay. Everyone else can say whatever they want to say about you. But you do not. You cannot say that about yourself. You will only say what God says about you to yourself. That's what you'll say. And if you want to know what does God say about you, then go and read the word. What does God say about me? What are the first words that God said to man? Oh my gosh. God said he wants us to be fruitful. He wants us to multiply. Why on earth do I think stagnation is my birthright? It is not. I am meant to multiply. I am meant to produce fruit. And in Psalm 8, go read Psalm 8, it's very short. God says, you are crowned with glory and honor. And that's your new affirmation every day. Stick it on your mirror in your bathroom in the morning as you brush your teeth. I am a queen who's crowned with honor and glory. And whatever business you have, whatever thing of yours that you have, if you have that digital business, I'm the queen of my thing. God has crowned me with honor and glory. And just operate like a queen that you are. Stop looking down, the crown will fall. I know you've seen that meme. And if you're a guy, I'm the king of my thing. Whatever that is. Because God has crowned me with honor and glory. And trust me, the enemy will come and say all the things. Friends will turn their back on you. Things will happen. People will come. You're going to also think things. But do not speak. Because life and death is in the power of the tongue. Do not speak things that are bad about you. Even if you think it. Do not speak it. Practice to only speak what God says about you. And how will you know what God says about you is by reading the word. God did not give us, the spirit of fear. Everything is a signal. If you want to do something and you feel automatic fear, chances are that will work out for you. If you're seeing someone doing something and you feel jealousy, ask yourself why. Why did I feel jealous? That is it's a message. Just say oh, why did I just get jealous about that? Maybe it's something I want to do as well. Write it down. I also want to do this. Don't hate them. Don't try and, dim their lights to, make your lights brighter or whatever. No, God says we are the light of the world. Don't worry, we all have the light. We all have the light. But when you feel that feeling towards someone or something, fear, jealousy, and all of that, close your eyes. That's why when you pray, you close your eyes, so that you can close your eyes to the world. Close your eyes and look within and reflect. Why did I just feel like that? I didn't know I wanted that, car. Or they're getting married or they're pregnant. I didn't know I wanted that. When you feel jealous about things like that, write it down and pray about it and ask God to open your eyes, give you the wisdom so that you can see all the opportunities and the people in front of you that God, you want me to serve. You want to save the planet? Pray that prayer. Pray that prayer. Imagine if all of our leaders, the government, everyone prayed for wisdom and prayed for clarity from God all the time. Jeez. it would be a whole different world if everyone prayed for wisdom. Because the wealth is here. It's like here. But because you have your own interpretation of what wealth looks like, you cannot see the other things right there that will get you to that. Let's say it's a million rands in your account. That's your definition of wealth. I'm making it an example. Because that's what you are so focused on, you cannot see the opportunities around you that look small that will get you to that. I made over 2 million online. I've recorded that on YouTube from selling digital products that were so cheap. I started with cash envelopes, and then I went to challenges, and then I went to PDF budget sheets. I could have been like, these envelopes are like 20 rand. This is dumb. I want to be the next Steve Jobs. I want to create my own iPhone. And then I would have never been where I am right now. But that's why when you pray or when you meditate, whatever you do, when you are grounding yourself and connecting with God, you close your eyes so that you stop looking at what other people have and you look within. That's why when the woman who was a widow in Kings as well, when she lost her husband, and her husband had so much debt that the debt collectors came and they were trying to take her children to be slaves to pay the husband's debt. She freaked out, went to Elisha, and she was trying to borrow more money to get into more debt. And Elisha said, "What do you have in your house?" And she looked at it like it's nothing. She's like, "I don't have anything. I just have oil." Like that thing, like it's nothing. And Elisha said, "Get jars and pour the oil, sell the oil, and live off that money." She did as she told. She got the jars, she poured the oil, and guess what? That little oil she saw started to overflow and filled so many jars. And she made so much money, she paid off the debt, and she used that to live off. And obviously there we've been taught about starting a business, using what you have internally. But also when you start using what God has given you, what is within you, it overflows and makes opportunities and opens doors for you and gives you all these things that you never thought, because now what you're doing is seeking the kingdom of God and everything else will be given to you. And I always make an example with my students, with Trevor Noah and Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, those comedians. Can you imagine telling your parents that you want to be a comedian? Can you imagine telling people who want to see you prosper, because they don't mean, in a horrible way. They want to see you prosper. So when you tell them, I want to make people laugh, they'll be like, "Hey, Bo, don't you make me mad. Go to school." But look at where they are. Look at where Steve Harvey is. Look at where Trevor Noah is, our own. Look at where Kevin Hart is. From making jokes. And what I'm saying about this is nothing is silly. You are looking at what you have like it's silly because you're comparing what you have to what someone else has that looks superior. You are created in the image of the Creator. You are a masterpiece. You need to look at yourself like that. And I'm gonna go now. So thank you so much for listening to me. Unplanned live. Don't know when I'm gonna be live again. Maybe in the next month. I wish I could be consistent. I actually think I'm going to challenge myself to show up. I don't know, every day at 6 or something like that. Or what day is it today? Every Wednesday at 6? Oh, but then that's for the FLA, that's for my membership. Guys, if you enjoy this type of content, very spiritually aligned, learning how to manage your money, make money online, and very much about biblical wisdom, then I do really invite you to join my program. You're not going to be disappointed. And again, it is a monthly membership, so if you feel like, ugh, it's not for me, you can always unsubscribe. Yeah, but it's linked on my bio. And just how I showed up over here, it is 10 times more because I've prepared like slides, and I use my whiteboard to draw, and I like actually show you everything and be very organized. This one is not organized. Oh, Lynn, it's okay. It's okay. There are some snippets that I share here and there on YouTube. What journey are you on? Are you trying to like attack debt or save more money, build an emergency fund? Saucy. I'm interested in biblical wisdom, but I prefer spending my money impulsively. You prefer it, or it just fills a void inside of you? It feels good to just spend money impulsively. What are you spending money on? What is it that you're spending your money on? I had a session with you last year. I'm paying off a loan and want to focus on building them. You had a session with me? Oh, now I remember. Are you building a house? Is it? I think it's... I saw over 500 people last year. Yes, you're building a house. Okay, I remember you. Okay, I've got quite a good memory, I think. Oh, lovely. Oh, no, okay, no, absolutely. Attack that debt, man. Attack that debt. I have a little one. Since I started saving 2026, 20K. How much have you saved? Oh my gosh. How much have you saved, Mrs. V? A coaster. It feels good, really. I want to visit Mashonisa in the middle of the month. You really need help. Source, you need help. Stop. 3,900. That means you finished the first one. I am 500 Rand away from getting to 3,900 Rand. I'm on 3,400 Rand. And I think I will reach 3,900 by the end of this week. But I've closed my shop a little bit, so I don't know where I'll get money. I don't know, we'll see. What's the date? Oh, it's going to be from my YouTube channel. It's going to pay me. I'm surprised I was using so much money on unnecessary... Yes, exactly. That's the thing. Now you're very intentional. Now you're very intentional with... Do I need to buy this? Okay, let me just save it. Let me see. And now you're like at 3,900. And maybe even before that, like you would budget and feel like... My budget says I'm supposed to be left with like 4,000, but where on earth did this money go? Now you'll be able to point and say it's in my savings challenges. What are you going to do with your saving challenges when you get to 20K? You need to give it a name. The best way to save your money psychologically is to give it a name. So for example, if you are saving for a car or a driver's license or whatever, when you use that money, you know you're taking away a car from yourself. Plan to buy a car. Spot on. Nice. I actually saved using the box. Where's my box? I don't know where's my box. But I saved using the box, and I saved 50,000 Rand when I bought my car. And I put in that deposit. My car then went all the way down to 2.5 for a monthly installment, and I paid off my car in 2.5 years. Just by paying extra to the car every month. Yes, we're buying cars, hubby. Joking. But yeah, we are living a luxury life in a budget. You don't have to kill yourself with debt. You don't have to have, you don't have to use credit cards. You can, travel. You can live a good life. You just have to plan for it. And the little steps that you take, they compound and they help you live your life of your dreams. It's not about how much you have. It's how you manage how much you have. And that is called wisdom. Okay, guys, I'm going. My husband is a chef. He's such a good cook, and I can already smell the food right now. So I'm hungry. I've been here the whole day, so I'm gonna go and eat. Actually, I need to process some paperwork for this retirement annuity for one of my clients, and then I'm gonna go and eat. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I love that you guys are saving together. Love that. And literally, I think, when my husband and I started the journey of financial management together as a couple, and then we started praying together. So we pray together every evening and every morning. The relationship really did change. Okay, I have to go. Thank you so much, guys, for the hearts. I don't know, what do the hearts mean? But I'm grateful for them because TikTok is showing me. Thank you for people who are following me. Did you do taxation planning? No, I didn't. I studied nutrition. And then when I got offered the opportunity to become a financial planner, I did exams and my accreditation with Liberty. And I'm about to write another exam. But I think next year I'm going to study financial planning, actual certificate. Yeah, so I've got a degree in nutrition and consumer science. And I'm not working in that industry. And that's the thing, it's just that I have to go now. But when I finished university, I went straight to New Zealand and I was working there for 6 years. I came back to get married in 2020. COVID happened. We ended up not going back to New Zealand, so we kind of got stuck here. And then I knew that I don't want to work in nutrition. I didn't want to, it sounds so bad, but I didn't want to work with sick people. It's just not for me. It makes me really sad. I'm an empath. My mom is a nurse. I don't know how she does that. I knew I wanted to work with people who are happy, to see me, not people who are sick or whatever. So I realized then that I studied the wrong thing. Why didn't I get any guidance about this? Why don't they offer all of that? And then I became a student advisor. So I was a student advisor for 4 years, from 2020 up until 2024. And then in that journey, I started to really fall in love with personal finance. I'm trying to rush my story now. I fell in love with personal finance, and I started to share my journey of me budgeting and me saving money and me managing my money. And a lot of people related, and I guess it's because we are not taught. So it was nice to see someone who's also, I was on a really low income at the time, just saving 10 Rand, 20 Rand. That's how I started the saving challenges, and people related and started to follow me. And after that, I then left my full-time job because I was no longer happy. And I went full in Nomazdiary, doing my thing, educating people on personal finance and coaching one-on-one on paying off debt and saving money and learning how to get out of the paycheck to paycheck, learn how to have your money last you till the next paycheck. So I was coaching people, and then I got offered the opportunity to become a financial advisor. So literally God has paved the way for me, because every single, I would say, career that I've been in, it's because of something that I have realized in my life at the time, and then I got into that career to help someone else. So I got into student advising to help other students not have to study something without understanding what on earth are you getting yourself into. I know a lot of people who studied law, who studied this, and they hate their lives. So I wanted to really make a change for some students, and then now I'm making a change in building wealth. I'm teaching people how to make their money work for them. My other clients, actually, I was talking to her today. She invested with me 150K. It was just sitting in her bank last year, so 12 months ago. And her money has made 30K, 30,000 Rand. And she was like, oh my gosh, Noma, I wish I started this a long time ago. But it's just so crazy. These are the things I didn't know they existed. I didn't know the mindset of wealthy people. And that's why I'm reading such books, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Millionaires are not living off the money that they worked hard for. So the money that you earn in your job, they don't take that and go pay bills and spend it. They take it and they buy assets, and those assets make their money, and then they spend that money. But their capital is still untouched. They're using what their money is making. And what their money is making, if they don't use it, is making them more money, and it just keeps compounding like that if you put it in the right fund manager, of course. Evening Noma, I started to follow you on YouTube. You make my life easier. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that is my journey. I love your work. I mean, your FLA group is on fire. Yay! Yay! I love that. God's Treehouse Academy. That's awesome. What is God's Treehouse Academy? But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate. I love seeing my students. I love seeing my members when they're around. I think I'm gonna go now, guys. I could go on and on and on. Try UJ. Their courses come in handy. So I'm gonna go through Mill Park because Liberty will pay for it. Yeah. Bye, love you. Okay, I think I have answered everyone. I feel bad if I just leave. Okay. Bye guys.